Hello and welcome to the FxWB New Beginnings Podcast with Michelle. Well, we are at the end of October. It has been a great month. We've been celebrating so many ladies out there honoring cancer survivors. This month we focused on breast cancer, but other persons that have been suffering with different types of cancers out there. We talked to many different people. We have had events to help with research, to collect funds for research, and to help with care packages for people. And we are happy that we have been involved in some way in learning more about breast cancer and Breast Cancer Month and cancer in general. We here at FxWB New Beginnings Podcast, thank you so much for listening in, tuning in to the lives, tuning in to the podcast recordings, and we are appreciative of you joining us and learning of others and how they went through this particular disease. But most of the ladies that we spoke to, they are out of it. They have conquered this disease, and we are so happy for them that they have had this opportunity to live a better life from what they have experienced. However, the month is not ended. This is the last Tuesday in the month, and we wanted to talk with another young lady. This is a beautiful young lady that we would be having the honor to listen to her story and how she has conquered this dreaded C disease. And we here at FxWB always looking at our well-being. And this is a form of considering our well-being, enhancing our well-being through health. If you haven't heard me talk about health yet, then you wasn't listening to any of my podcasts before. So I need you to understand your health is your wealth. You can change your well-being through the things that you consume, through the activities that you do, by relieving yourself of stress. And I can go on and on and on. But what I want you to remember is, if you have that opportunity to be balanced, contented, and happy, that is you getting to that point of a state of well-being. We just manifested through health in particular at FxWB New Beginnings Podcast, but we also share with others how to enhance your well-being through finding and cultivating your purpose. We look at your environment, understanding relationships, understanding your community in which you're in, and also looking at your security in finances, security in your maker. You can enhance your well-being in many different ways. Today, we are going to talk about health, but in relation to coming out of having cancer, breast cancer. I want to welcome this young lady. I keep calling her young lady, but you see, she's a beautiful young lady, a beautiful soul. Her name is Miss Pamela Burking. I call her Miss Pam. We met in a mutual place where she wanted to get healthy. She wanted to stop hurting. And we met there, and we have continued being friends so that we can share how we are enhancing our well-being in different ways. She's going to tell you all about her story. Welcome today, Miss Pam Burking. Hi.
Hi, how are you, Michelle?
I am doing fine. I
Yeah,
am happy you have joined me on FxWB New Beginnings Podcast.
thank you.
We want to learn so much about you because I know you have a lot to share. Tell us, who is Miss Pam Burking?
Well, first of all, thank you for inviting me to the podcast. I am believer, first and foremost. I am a believer, a follower of our Lord Jesus Christ, which you will find has had an immense impact on my life, my getting through this journey, and my recovery. I'm also a very proud mom of one, and he has made me a very proud grandmother of three. Uh, it's beautiful. Of course, they're the most beautiful grandchildren in the world. I am a teacher. I've taught second grade, fourth grade, and fifth grade. And currently, I am teaching fourth grade high ability class in Pike Township. And class of 26, very creative, energetic, amazing minds. I'm enjoying working with this group of students so much, and always hope I've had some type of impact on all the students over 23 years in Pike that I have been blessed to work with. I am, as you said, a breast cancer survivor. I'm an 8-year survivor this year. And thank you. God is good. So, like many breast cancer survivors going through this journey, I still follow up with my oncologists. I still take some medication that I'll be taking at least for the next couple of years that just will hopefully help reduce that possibility of recurrence that we all know is always a possibility. But I remain very positive and high energy. Strangely, the silver lining for me with breast cancer is that I did really focus more on my health. I did focus more on opportunities for wellness, as you said, how you and I came together. And one of the biggest changes for me was not only the trying to work out, but looking at nutritional changes. Still a challenge sometimes, Michelle, but working on those nutritional changes and getting involved with a breast cancer survivors team called the Indie Survivors.
Oh, so tell us a little bit about this team. What is it they do?
The Indie Survivors is the only breast cancer dragon boat team here in Indiana. Dragon boat racing itself is an ancient Chinese sport, came about well over 2,000 years ago. And a doctor in British Columbia was doing a research study to study the effects of dragon boat racing or any kind of exercise that would help reduce lymphedema, which is very common with women who've gone through breast cancer surgery as a result of having lymph nodes removed. And so lymphedema, for those that don't understand, that causes quite a bit of swelling in the arm area for breast cancer survivors. And so he decided to try dragon boat racing and found the effects were amazing, not only physically in reducing the lymphedema, but emotionally, mentally, that the health improved with these women. So he started with this one team that he was studying. Dragon boat racing for breast cancer survivors is being done in over 30 countries now around the world. We have competitions. My team competes 4 to 5 times a year during our season. And we do workouts off season as well, so we can be fit and ready for that following season. We have competed here in the United States, in Florida, in Buffalo, New York, as far out as Colorado. And this year, some of our team members were able to participate in the International Dragon Boat Festival, which was in New Zealand. And in 2026, we just found out we will be competing in France. So I'm that one.
Oh yeah, I would want to be in that too. So you guys have used physical activity to bond.
Yes.
And to be able to drive out that negative persona of cancer.
Yes. I think the beauty of our team, I know I joined the team back in 2017. So I've been 6 years with the team now. And the beauty of it to me, not only knowing the impact in my life, which was an increased awareness of the importance of health, not just physically, but as you said, that mental and emotional piece. There are a lot of support groups for breast cancer survivors, and they are absolutely amazing. And I encourage women that are going through this experience, that are new to this, to find that support group that really speaks to them. What is different with Indie Survivors is that we don't focus on the breast cancer. As far as we're concerned, once you have gotten in that boat and pushed away from the dock, you're a warrior, you're a dragon boat racer, you're an athlete. We focus on those aspects, and we do focus
Yes.
on the nutrition, on working out off the water, not just in the boat. But you know, you're surrounded by women who have gone through the same experience that you can talk to, should you need to talk to any of us. We're there for each other. We just had a big fundraiser last night, and just seeing all the smiles in the room, the happiness in the room, the support and the love, you have that from the get-go with this team.
Yes. That is amazing to hear,
Mhm.
because for this month we have listened to honoring. I have had at least 4 different ways people have talked about honoring breast cancer survivors and cancer survivors in general. And each one has its specific way of doing that, of honoring these survivors.
Mhm.
And it running through all of them, the theme of love and really appreciating what you went through is it's there. You can see that everyone really love, because when you think of it, when an individual is affected by breast cancer, it's not just the individual, it's a lot of people,
Definitely. Definitely.
family, friends. And when you have all these people supporting you, and now you have another group of, oh, I actually went through this too, that person come alongside with you, you get that support and that love and that grace, and it becomes, I would say it's toxic in a good way, because
Yeah,
everybody, you
that's
know,
good. That's good.
yes, it's everybody now come together and realizing that, hey, we actually did this together, even though we were apart in different parts of walks of life. But now we have one thing that has bonded us together, that we all fought
Yeah.
and have survived. That's
Yes.
amazing.
I One thing, and I can recall that happened recently. It happened this race season. We always have new members every year. Our season starts with meetings in April, and then we usually get the boats out on the water in May. So the season runs usually May through October. And at our first race this year, one of our newest team members she's a young woman, mother of one. She and her husband were there. She had just gone through her journey last year. And so she was finally feeling well enough to try this. And so had seen her at practices and watched her at her first race. And to see her emotion, which is very common for our new members, the first time they decide to race, which you certainly don't have to race. But just watching her emotion, watching her daughter and her husband, we form a line whenever we get off the boat from a race. All the teams form lines and we congratulate, good race, good race. And so for her to come through that line and see her husband and daughter at the end holding up signs was just such a precious moment. She was
Um,
youngest, one of our younger team members. And so, we think of breast cancer and think of it being sometimes older women. Sadly, this is a disease that does not have age discrimination as a
yeah,
part marker. And we
yes.
see a lot of young women. We do see a lot of women of color going
Yes,
through.
well, the statistics I've been reading up on it, and they're saying that there are a lot of young ladies in their 20s that now
Yes,
have
yes,
breast cancer. And I keep saying, we breast cancer is like every other disease. if we look at what we're doing, what we're consuming,
Yes.
I know genetics play a part too, but if we look at the levels of inflammation as well as what we are digesting and putting into our system, we could fight this from becoming a disease to if it's a deficiency, we could fight this to bring it down to the point of not being diagnosed with.
Yes. And I would agree. I think a lot of people, again, feel that, well, if there was no breast cancer in my family, I'm not at risk. Uh,
No.
the only breast cancer um, person in my family was one of my mother's older sisters had it. I remember that. But my mom didn't have it. And so I still was diagnosed with it. And I think the other thing, especially for Black women, is we have a tendency to have fibroids anyway. It's not that uncommon of a thing in Black
Right.
women that. And so, I still want to encourage breast self-examination is so important to be in that routine monthly of knowing, your breasts, what's going to feel or look different. And anything, I couldn't feel any lumps. When I went for my regular mammogram in August of 2015, what I told my OBGYN was, I said, I don't feel a lump or anything. There is a little pain. There's a little discomfort in this location, but there was nothing different looking, no lumps to be felt. That's where my cancer was. And it was so deep in that had I waited to feel a lump or anything, I would probably have been about a stage 3 diagnosis, if not a stage 4, as it was, because I noticed something's different. I was able to be diagnosed in stage 1, which is certainly a much more treatable phase for you to be diagnosed in. So I do want to encourage anyone listening to this, be in that habit of doing those BSEs. As a woman has said it, women have said at different meetings I've been at, if you're married or have a partner that you're intimate with, they'll enjoy doing that BSE for you every month. Just make sure you're doing it and make sure you keep up with those mammograms annually, and take care of yourself. Give yourself that fighting chance. Yeah.
So before we started talking, I was saying to you that I like looking at quotes in relation to what we are speaking about. And most of the times I would look at a quote beforehand. And when we start talking, I'm like, this actually works. So there were two that I saw that stuck out for me. Life doesn't get easier or more forgiving. We get stronger and more resilient.
I like that.
I like that one. So life doesn't get easier or more forgiving. We get stronger and more resilient.
Mm-hmm.
And the other one that I saw, resilience is accepting your new reality, even if it's less good than the one you had before. You can fight it. You can do nothing but scream about what you've lost, or you can accept that and try to put together something that's good. So
Those are both good.
they're both good. So I was torn between whether I should do one or the other. I think I needed to do both because when you think of it, we cannot change what has happened in the past.
Correct.
It already happened.
Right.
But stepping forward, we can make a change
Definitely.
in what's going on. So Miss Palmer said, go get a check. Do your self check regularly.
Yeah.
Get to the doctor, get that mammogram. Early detection helps because it's treatable. It's much more easier to treat at a stage 1 than at a stage 3 or stage 4. And as we said before, also, younger ladies are being more affected by or are being affected by cancer, ladies, we need to get checked.
Definitely.
Don't think to wait till 40 or 42.
Right.
Get checked in your 20s.
Yeah.
Because we want to make sure that we're not to the point again at a stage where it's okay, I need to get everything out or it goes somewhere else. Because if it's in your lymph nodes, we have lymph nodes everywhere and it could spread,
Yes. Yeah.
right? For you, what would you say is one of the challenging things that you have now with respect to going through 8 years free of being breast cancer free? But
Mhm.
what would you think is a challenge for you now
As a
going forward?
recovery from cancer.
Yes.
Mm. You certainly do feel, different, and I'm 65 years old, so there's some age issues. I'm
You
sure.
don't even look it. So that's good.
Thank you. I think probably now there's some effects with some of the medications that I take that I know have had an impact. I now have something called osteopenia, which I never heard of, but so I get injections twice a year to help with that. So I am very mindful of my bones. As Michelle knows, I have scoliosis as well, which is a curvature of the spine. So knowing that cancer treatment that I went through with some thinning of the bones did have an impact on that scoliosis as well. So being mindful of that, some of the achiness that can result when you're taking those medications. Thank God none of it is anything that keeps me from moving forward, because I have a friend that makes me laugh. He always says motion is lotion, meaning when you don't get up, if you don't move, if you're not doing something, it is probably the worst thing you can do for yourself. And we deserve to have a good life while we're here. We deserve be able to be out there and do things, to touch other people. Um, Breast cancer for me, I love being able to talk with other women and be there for them, because so many were there for me. So to me, to be able to be up, be mobile, be out, think about other people, what are things I can do, and take care of myself, to be here for my son, my grandchildren, my other family and friends is so important to me. So I would say the greatest challenges are certainly those days physically where it's a little uncomfortable. But then that gets balanced with, you got to push yourself, challenge yourself, listen to your body. It doesn't mean you have to go to the point that you're, not capable of moving because you've worn yourself out. But you got to push yourself. You got to challenge. And I always feel better on the other end when I do it. So,
Yes. Yes. Movement is key. I just talked about with someone. It's you have soreness versus injury. We do not want
yeah,
to be injured. We
yes.
rather the muscle soreness, though it could be a little achy at times.
Mm-hmm,
And it's not long term. It's just like within 48, 72 hours kind of soreness
mm-hmm,
where you could use an Epsom salt bath or you get a massage and those things help to
mm-hmm.
relieve it. We don't want to be injured. So we don't want to go and then we get injured. We don't want to
Right.
break anything. And if you have osteopenia, you have to be so careful about not falling. You know
Mm.
why I say that way. And,
Yes, I do.
I'm not, I didn't say anything. I just say falling. I'm just saying.
Michelle knows. If you hit people, she knows.
Yes, but yeah, think of it. Age plays a factor. You want to keep moving. You want to keep yourself mobile so
Hmm.
that you are helping yourself
Yes.
stay
Yeah.
healthy.
Right.
Yeah. So you want to keep mobile. And kudos to you and all the women in the dragon boat racing. That is awesome. That they all go out and still competing. And I know they're probably older ladies than you.
There are some older than me, and then, like I said, we have some
Yeah.
young ladies in their, late 20s into their 30s, 40s. We have every range represented on that team.
Wow. Wow. That is a cool way of relieving stress,
Mm-hmm.
losing weight, getting stronger,
Yep.
mentally de-stressing yourself. That
Yes.
is a whole encompass way of enhancing your well-being through movement and health.
Yeah.
So
Definitely.
I applaud you ladies doing that, and so happy that you will come together and really help each other even when you're not underwater,
Oh, yes. Yeah.
because
Always.
you want to always work with each other and encourage each other
Mhm.
throughout the way.
Yeah.
And being resilient, we talk about that, just being there for each other and helping each other out is so important. So great job to you and the group. And please tell us, what would you tell any lady out there to expect or to believe in when it comes to going through any type of medical issue? In your case, it was breast cancer.
Mm-hmm. I whatever to me, faith is so important. It truly was. And I think no matter what your faith or belief system is, if you have one, I
Yes.
that you need to lean into that, because I always say that's the only way I have made it through is God in my life.
Mm,
But I think that whatever that is for you, if it's meditation, if it's whatever it is, that you find that and lean into that. So it's so critical. And then just surround yourself with positive people. I was very blessed to have amazing friends, amazing school staff in my life during the beginning time of this and after. And so just knowing you've got people who are going to take care of you, because as women, we have a tendency to take care of everybody else. And so it's very challenging to let someone take care of us. And I would encourage women going through this. This is the time for you to let other people in. This is the time to allow other people to help support you, whether it's just talking to you, whether it's bringing you a meal, volunteering to come over and clean the house for you, take the kids out if you have children, whatever it is. It's okay for us to lean on people too.
yes. Yes, we tend to be strong always.
Yes.
And when we fall or when we are injured, because technically we're injured, it's
Right.
hard for us to lean on others, but we do need to lean on others. And when you have a support group, like getting involved with groups like you have,
Mhm.
that I believe was medicinal for you as
Very-
well.
very-
It's therapy. It was able to bring you out of the funk, because a lot of people
Yeah.
tend to think it's their fault. It's not your fault. It's something that has happened. You can come out of it, and with other people surrounding you and supporting you, you can beat this. So I am very appreciative of you sharing this, because this is a different way of honoring each other. And
Yeah.
I like it. I like how you got ladies come together and make it happen. Y'all make it work for
Yeah.
each other. Good.
Definitely do.
Thank you so much, Miss Pam, for coming on FxWB New Beginnings Podcast. I
Thank-
am very happy you've done that and shared your story with us. I know you have lots more to share, and I will be contacting you again.
Awesome. I loved it.
Yes, and I just want you to know that you are a blessing,
Thank
and
you.
you have helped me in just this talk. So I hope it will help others to stay resilient and to stay pushing forward, because everything is a season, and we can come through a season. Whether it's
Yeah.
a hard or a good one, we have to come through it. So grateful.
Thank
So
you so
you,
much for inviting me.
yes, no problem at all. This has been FxWB New Beginnings Podcast with Michelle, and today with Miss Pam. Check us out. Make sure and like and subscribe our YouTube channel. We are appreciative of you. God bless and see you soon.
Bye.